Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mark's Backyard Birds. Hummingbirds, the star of the day today. We're talking about August. And why August, of course, is the best hummingbird month. And are you ready for that? A lot of people took down their hummingbird feeders in late May, early June because the hummingbirds quit coming, and that meant that the female had not chosen your yard as a good nesting site, so the male had to move on as well. So a lot of people get frustrated refilling their hummingbird time and time again and not have no results. So it's understandable to take down your hummingbird feeders at that time of year. I did this year because I had no hummingbirds that were nesting in my yard or near my yard. And so right now I'm putting my hummingbird feeder back up. And why is that? Hummingbird territories are breaking down. The nesting season is coming to an end. The young have fledged or are in the process of fledging, and they're all moving out on their own. They're learning to survive in the world. So the males that were uh, basically what you had maybe back in the spring with trying to attract females. Now you have the adult males like this guy, adult females, and three or four babies, more per nest. So you've got a lot more hummingbirds out there, and young birds don't know the routine. They don't know what's going on. They're just trying to find their way in the world and feed on what they can. And what the adults know is going on. The adults know migration is coming. So they're going to get aggressive around your hummingbird feeders, and they're going to really start consuming a lot of nectar because they're trying to increase the body fat for that arduous task of migrating. Well, the young don't know this is a routine yet, and so they're just trying to feed, and the adults are chasing them, and they're just learning their way in the world. So in August, the adult males will leave first, the adult females will leave after that, and then the babies will be the last linger. But they're also joined by migrating birds. Depending upon where you are, you guys up north will lose your hummingbirds earlier. Here in the Midwest, we used to say by September 15th they were gone, but now we have sightings up through the at least the first week of October anymore. So we maintain and keep our hummingbird feeders out there to help these birds on their journey south, and it happens every year. So what are the things that you can be preparing for? Well, one is heat. And that is that you're going to have to change your nectar regularly. So remember, the formula is 4 parts water to 1 part sugar, and resist the temptation to make your hummingbird nectar sweeter. What we know is if you do make the hummingbird sweeter, it increases the hummingbird's need to intake water, and August is extremely hot and dry. So it puts more stress on the hummingbirds. And so make sure you mix it. You can mix it and put it in your refrigerator for up to 2 weeks and just pour a little bit in there. Because if you took your hummingbird feeders down, you're trying to attract them again. It's almost like spring over again. So only put a little bit of nectar in those hummingbird feeders until you see activity. Camera feeders are great for that. That's how I know when my hummingbirds show up in the fall is they show up on the camera, and I get and look through my videos at night and they're on there. It's great. Okay, so 4 parts water, 1 part sugar. Change it every other day in this heat, or depends on where you are and what your temperatures are. We've been brutally hot here, so at least every other day is to keep it fresh. We don't making our hummingbirds sick. And again, water. Water, I'm going to talk about water if you watch me regularly. Now, these misters, which are great, hummingbirds love to fly through the mist and go sit in the bush somewhere and then preen. Shallow bird baths, they can land on little shallow spots and bathe that way. If you run sprinklers in your yard, make sure those sprinklers are hitting some shrubbery around your yard, because the birds will just sit in those shrubs and let the water drip on them. It's critical this time of year for sure. And of course, another battle you're going to have to prepare for are pests. And pests are bees, ants, praying mantises, raccoons, things like that. So I've done whole videos on that, and I'll put a link in the description or in the link up above to get you to that video. Keeping bees out of your hummingbird is not impossible. It is, but it is a challenge, and I have whole videos on that. And know that the bee numbers are much higher in August and September than they were back in April and May. Now you may have to battle them. Maybe not, but a good saucer type hummingbird feeder is my favorite for battling that. So ants are much easier. Ants, all you need to use is water, and don't use chemicals around your hummingbird feeders that can leach in and get into the water. Just a nectar protector, or ant moat as they're called, filled with water, and your hummingbird feeder hangs from the bottom of it, and you hang the nectar ant moat from your hook where you're hanging your hummingbird feeders. Fill it with water, only water. Don't put oil on it so it doesn't evaporate as quickly, because the birds will drink out of this. I've seen hummingbirds drink out of it. I've seen chickadees. I've seen titmice. I've seen goldfinches land on the lip of that and drink out of it as well. So you don't want to put any oil or anything like that in it. Just water. And then you can change that every few days as well. So it's like their own private bird bath. And then when I talked about some of those other pests like praying mantises, yes, praying mantises, the large invasive Chinese mantids, can kill a hummingbird. So don't allow them to hang around in your hummingbird feeders. They are invasive, exotic species, and you can kill them. The little native praying mantises, which we love, are no more than 3 inches long. These big praying mantises that are from, I think I said China, I think originally is where they came from, and they do pose a real danger for hummingbirds. I'll put a link in the video I did about threats like that. Don't forget to clean spider webs from around your hummingbird feeders, because a little hummingbird can get tangled up in those spider webs and they're dead. And it gets wrapped around their bill, their wings, they can't fly, and they're doomed unless you find them and get it cleaned off and get them flying away. So that is, so don't forget about that. Raccoons, they love sugar water. I take my hummingbird feeders in at night because I know the raccoons are going to drink that sugar water every night, or maybe get the hummingbird feeder down on the ground. So bring that in. I put it in the Rubbermaid container inside, and then I put it back out in the morning. So those are ways to help contend, be prepared to have to battle with that. But remember, if you've got plants, if you've got native plants, if you've got potted plants of orange and red. Why orange and red? Remember, bees can't see the color red. So the plants, red and orange, looks black to them. That's why hummingbirds key in on red and orange flowers, and because they know they're going to likely have nectar in them, and they'll utilize that. So make sure you got plants for them, because if you're going to leave for a few days and you want to take your hummingbird feeders, if you've got plants out there, the hummingbirds will be taken care of with that. So with migration coming, most people like to add 2 or maybe even 3 more hummingbird feeders out, because a dominant male or a dominant female like this gal, she will dominate that feeder, because you remember, she's trying to fatten up, because she knows she's got to migrate. The young ones don't know that, so she'll chase the other birds away. The males usually are the most dominant first, and then they might migrate out of here. So putting up a second or third hummingbird feeder really helps this time of year. But it's important that you have sight lines, if you can, between your hummingbird feeders. Because if you only have one hummingbird feeder at this end of your deck and one hummingbird feeder at that end of your deck, a male can sit out there, and he will do this. He'll perch up on a limb out there, and then he'll come down and he'll defend both of those hummingbird feeders. It's that old it's line of the little crabs and in the movies years ago with mine. That's how he wants to dominate those feeders so he can drink and have it to himself to fatten up. Then once he leaves, the adult females will do the same thing. And then at the end, that's when she leaves, then you can have 3 or 4, even 5 or 6 hummingbirds feeding from a feeder at your feeders at the same time, if they're not being bullied, because the young ones don't know to be bullied. So extra hummingbird feeders around your yard will help you take care of additional hummingbirds. So prepare for that. It's going to be hot. Change your nectar. 4 parts water to 1 part sugar. Protect against predators or would-be predators or pests. Make sure you provide water for the hummingbirds and add a couple extra hummingbird feeders for the hummingbird month, which is August and also September. It depends on where you are. So it's a great idea for a program. Very timely topic. People love their hummingbirds, and I don't blame them. Be ready because they are coming. If you like the program, please give us a like and a share. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, please do. And hit that bell so you know, get notifications to when I'm on next. If you have ideas for programs you want me to talk about, please do send them in. Until next time, let's talk birds.